Hi, are you frustrated with your business? Are you an author, speaker, coach, consultant, a freelancer, or possibly another type of solopreneur or small business owner struggling to get the word out about what you do? Do you dream of making a big impact, of being able to share your talent or your skill or your expertise or big idea or even message with a wider audience? If so, then I can help. This video is something you definitely need to see. Hi, I'm Carter Tagore, and I've been in business for more than 13 years. And possibly, like you, I started my business simply because I was good at doing something. You see, in my case, I was a good writer. And so I thought that would be enough for me to be able to build a business around it. But I soon found out it wasn't. You see, what I've discovered, and what you may have already discovered, is that simply being good at something is not good enough. Not if you want to build a successful business. Not if you want to stand out. Not if you want to get customers and clients to be able to trust you with their important work and with their important projects and with the results that they seek. You see, what I discovered over the last 13 years is that being good enough at something is great and wonderful, but that's just the start. Of course, you've got to be good at whatever it is that you're offering, whatever it is that you want people to pay you for. But that's just the beginning. You've also got to figure out the business elements of your business. You've got to learn how to stand out. You've got to learn how to speak to your target audience. You've got to learn how to reach them where they are, market, find them. You've got to learn certain business strategies that will be able to take your talent, your skill, your expertise, big idea, or message to that next level. If you don't learn that, then unfortunately, your talent, your skill, your expertise, your big idea or message will most likely just die. And you'll end up back at a 9-to-5 working for somebody else, or you'll continue to struggle until finally frustration just takes you over. And you don't want that. In fact, your talent, your skill, your expertise, message, or big idea, all of that deserves so much more. And that's why you've got to shore up your business knowledge. You have got to do other things besides just working in your business. It's time for you to work on your business. And this video will help you figure out how to do that, because we're going to start with a very key element of working on your business, and that's the branding. Your branding is simply how your business is known. It's your business's reputation. What do people think of when they think of your business? If it's not positive, and if it's not something clear and that helps you in business, then it's harming you. And the reality is that many small business owners simply don't know what their brand is, or they don't know how to define it so that their target audience can really see, and so that that brand can resonate with that audience. Many small business owners I've seen, and in fact I've been there, they simply work on price. They think competing on price is good enough. It's not, because that's just a race to the bottom. How low will you go? And how many projects will you take on just to make up a decent rate? That's a losing proposition. I know, I've been there. I had to figure out how to get away from competing on price and start competing on value based on my brand. And let me tell you, it's been a whole lot better, because you see, once you start competing based on value and what your brand offers, then you begin to attract a different type of client. You begin to attract clients who want to pay for what you do, who value what you do, and who can afford what you do. You, in fact, don't have to continue to compete on price and drive your rate lower and lower and lower. That's why branding is important. And that's why you have got to work on your brand, so you can get away from the bottom feed, and get away from competing on who has the lowest rate. Leave that to some other people, but not you. So what are you going to do to be able to compete on brand? First, you've got to identify your brand. What is your brand? What's special about it? What stands out about it? And what is the brand promise you make? What do you know about a brand promise? A brand promise is simply what it sounds like. What result are you promising your user, your customer, or your buyer? What can that person expect when he or she gets a service or product or program from you? What are you promising? Have you thought about that? It's got to be something besides just the cheapest rate. In fact, forget about the cheapest rate. When you compete on value and on that brand promise, you, yes, you, when you compete on that value and brand promise, you get to erase the competition. You get to remove yourself from the competition. And in fact, your customers and clients won't even be thinking about the other competition, because if you define your brand well enough, you will be the only ideal service provider for them. You will be the only solution for them. And that's why your brand promise is so important. So the first thing I want you to do is really to think about, what is it about your brand? First, assess your brand as it is now. What do people know about you and your brand? When people think of your business, what comes to mind? Once you've assessed that brand, then decide if it's helpful to you or if it's harmful. If it's harmful, how can you tweak that brand? How can you pivot it? How can you move it so that it begins to help you so that your business can grow now and well into the future? Once you've assessed the brand, then, as I said, you're going to tweak it so that you can further define it, so that you can be proud of the brand that you have and it can resonate with your customers and clients. And then once you do that, I want you to really share that brand. You're going to have to get out there so that it can resonate with those people around your ideal customers and clients, because you're going to have to make that brand promise. So once you've assessed that brand and you've tweaked it, and then you want to focus on that brand promise, what are you promising to your buyers, to your customers, to your clients? And of course, you've got to make sure you deliver. You can't make a promise that you can't deliver on. No matter how sweet the promise sounds, you've got to make one that you can stand behind. Because again, this is your name. This is your business. This is what people will know you as. So make a solid brand promise. And when you do that, you'll be able to see how you can separate yourself from the competition. In fact, if you properly identify the pain points of your customers and clients, and then you align your brand with a solution that helps them address that pain point, then you become the ideal solution provider. And in that case, you'll have more than enough clients, customers, and buyers. You have more than enough business, because your customers and clients will come to you when they have a need for what you provide. That's why your brand is important. And don't try to be a copycat brand. It's not necessary for you to go and try to be like any other brand out there. You see, only one brand can occupy one space in a client's mind for that particular thing. So you can't go and copy someone else's brand. You can't go and try to be everything else that someone else's brand already is. Be your own unique brand. Be your own one-of-a-kind business brand, because that's the way to help you stand out. If you make the mistake of simply copying or attempting to copy someone else's brand, then if that brand is already occupied in your clients' and customers' minds, they will just see you as a cheap knockoff. They will see you as the copycat you are, and they will see you as insincere and certainly inauthentic. And if that's the case, you're not getting their business. That's why you've got to create your own one-of-a-kind business brand. That's why you've got to make sure that you stand out in your customers' and clients' minds as the only ideal solution provider for the thing that you promise. So don't try to copy your competition's brands, and don't think they have all the answers. You have it in you to create that unique, one-of-a-kind business brand that will speak to your customers and your clients.
You truly can compete on the value of your brand. You can assess your brand to see where it stands now and then work to define it. If that means tweaking what it is now, or if that means a wholesale relaunch of your brand, then don't be afraid to do that. It's time for you to stand out. It's time for you to compete based on the value you bring. It's time to compete based on how special you are. It's time to compete based on what insight, what ideas, what message, what big idea and information you can share with your audience. Compete based on service. Compete based on your level of expertise, the skill that you provide. Compete based on something that is real about your business, and not just on some arbitrary rate, not just on driving your rate down. You can truly compete based on what's special about your business. When you create your one-of-a-kind business brand around whatever that specialness is, whether it's related to your expertise or your skill or your big idea or your message, you truly can take your business to the next level when you begin working on your business and not just in it.
So that's it for now. I'm signing off, but again, think about your brand, and in the next video, I am going to help you figure out how to take your one-of-a-kind business brand to a larger market. Again, this is Monica Carter Tagore at monicacartertagore.com, sharing tools, tips, and strategies to help you free your greatness and take your business to the next level.